Hello and welcome to Arcade Spotlight. We're glad you can join us from the vast regions of space to follow us on this epic journey through arcade history. In today's episode, we'll be looking at a familiar looking puck of a man trying to eat dots in a maze, all the while being chased by 4 colorful ghosts.
We wouldn't be a real arcade if we didn't have Pac-Man. Its absence would be inexcusable.
Pac-Man was released on October 10th, 1980 by Bally Midway. It was developed by Namco and designers Toru Iwatani and Shigeshi Ishimura as a maze game. It was made for 1 to 2 players and comes in an upright cabaret and cocktail cabinet.
Pac-Man was huge when it came out. It was all over the arcades. I think they had to print more quarters that year because the Treasury Department didn't have enough quarters in circulation for everybody putting them in all the Pac-Man machines.
The game came into fruition at Namco as Iwatani got inspired by the concept of eating, and after seeing a pizza missing a slice and rounding out the kanji character for mouth, Pac-Man was created and released in Japan. The title was changed in the States, probably for good reason.
Because they thought kids would modify the marquees and or the side art to make it say blank man. Yeah.
It's just a very simple game to play. You're being chased around the maze by ghosts. You avoid them and collect all the pellets in the maze. Complete the maze, go to the next one.
There are 4 power pellets on the board. With that, you would move around the object. If you're point chasing like somebody that I know, you would then try to only eat the power pellets and then go after all 4 of the ghosts.
Inky, Blinky, Pinky, and Clyde.
Inky, Blinky, Clyde.
Blinky, Inky, Clyde, Pinky, and Babakasu.
While technically true today, those were only their nicknames then. As it shows on the attract screen, their names to be Shadow, Speedy, Bashful, and Pokey. But no one seems to mind.
You run around, you eat dots, and get chased by ghosts and chase ghosts until you die. That's basically how you play Pac-Man.
I must have been about 7 or 8. I saw it at the bowling alley, and I fell in love with it immediately. I had Pac-Man on the Atari 2600. I played the Pac-Man in the stand-up version.
First time I got to play it was actually a tabletop version. Coleco tabletop. I had that and we used to play it for hours, taking turns with my brothers. An actual arcade in town had one I would get to play occasionally, but I wasn't very good at it at the time.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember the first time I played Pac-Man, but the first one I ever owned, you're leaning on. So.
When we restored this particular Pac-Man here, we had the occasion to have one of the local routers of games that was around during that time frame, and he recanted a story that he was the first point-op to get Pac-Man in the Valley, the very first machine. He had it out for, he said, like 2 weeks. It didn't earn anything, so he took it back to the distributor, asking if he could get something else to kind of trade it in, and they begrudgingly took it, and it wasn't a week later that it blew up, and then he had to wait an additional 2 months before he could get another one.
In addition to gobbling up all the pellets and ghosts once you consumed a power pellet, there's also fruit or other edibles that spawn at the center that you can munch on for extra bonuses, and there are many strategies to ensure the big points as you keep going.
There are patterns with this specific game, so once you've learned the patterns sufficiently, it's a fairly easy game.
If you get past a certain number of levels, you'll more than likely see a cutscene from time to time, but if you make it to a certain level, you may encounter something special.
3.2 million was the magic number, in which the screen would split in half. You would get the code on one side, and you would be able to play only half a screen for the remainder. I had my Pac-Man book when I was a kid.
Pac-Man was a runaway success for Namco and Bally Midway, allowing for sequels, ports, clones, and merchandise the world over, cameos in movies and television including his own cartoon, and a catchy song sung by Buckner and Garcia.
My brother had the album, and it actually had instructions on the back of the album cover of what order to eat the dots in to clear the maze and get to the key stages.
I personally like the Defender and the Donkey Kong song better than the Pac-Man song, but that one was the one that took off for everybody.
I think the reason that people gravitate towards these games is because of the playability and the fact that they're as fun as today as they were in 1980, 1981.
It was just a popular game, one of the first popular games of that era, and I think it boosted the interest in video games and arcades. Like with Pong, everybody was trying to copy that first when it was the first hit. Same thing with Pac-Man. As soon as that came out and it was huge, everybody was trying to copy Pac-Man.
To this day, I still have not made it to the key level, so it is still difficult to this day, for me personally. I know that people have gotten the perfect game, and I know that if you get the pattern down, it was super easy to play, but me personally, I'm still working on getting the pattern down.
Everyone knows what Pac-Man looks like, besides the big neon sign that's on the wall behind us here, or if someone takes a slice of pizza out and says, hey look, it looks like Pac-Man. It is definitely had a huge influence on the way people look at the world. It's just a staple of gaming. Everyone has played Pac-Man, and anyone that's going to ever play games is going to play Pac-Man at some point.
Pac-Man is no doubt a classic in all respects due to its simple concept and timeless appeal. It's also one of the most important video games to ever come out, as it showed people around the world that video games can make you go crazy and out of your mind. This has been Arcade Spotlight, I'm Jacob Ross, and we'll see you soon. Want to play the games featured on the show? Come check us out. We're located at 4840 East Jasmine Street, number 102, Mesa, Arizona, 85205 near Falcon Field and the Monastery. Hey everybody, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to support the channel by giving us a like, comment, sharing the video around, and hitting that subscribe button. It really helps us out. You can also find us on our Facebook and our personal website. Once again, thanks for watching, and we'll be seeing you. Be sure to look at me and not the camera. It's Spotlight. We're glad you can... Be sure to look at me and not the camera, if you will.
Yeah.
Steve did the exact same
Did
thing.
really?
Yeah. Starfighters would like to remind you to be cautious with some Pac-Man players.